Right now, more than ever, pricing is important to the petrol and convenience industry. And understanding the right price is the first step, but applying that price the right way is really the key to maximising sales during this difficult period. And if you don't have a plan or a process for your fuel pricing, then you really need to get one. Hi, I'm Mick Jarvie from the Pricing Project, and I'm hoping to give you a little snapshot of some pricing theory. Then I'd like to show you how you can use pricing tools like ours to help you stay on target right now during this difficult period and to help you recover more quickly when fuel demand starts to return to normal. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? Here I'm going to talk to you about your board price, the traditional way to set prices for customers. I've recorded another session that focuses on offer pricing in digital channels like Easy Street. So setting the optimal board price is really tricky. You have to be watching your sales volumes and margins carefully and to measure the impact of your pricing strategy. It's also really competitive. So if you do discount on board, it's highly likely your competitors will match you in an instant. So add to this the effect of the retail price cycles in major cities, and you've got a real challenge on your hands. So if you start with the matrix we looked at and plot where you think you see it, you can identify the price position that ultimately you'll need to adopt to maximise your sales and margin balance. So here you'll need to consider what the competitive effects might be and whether you can actually set a price relative to competitors and maintain it. If the answer is no, then you really need to look at how you can do this through other channels like Easy Street. So now let's look at putting a plan in place. Say I want to price a market average to improve my sales. I'll set this pricing strategy and make it consistent. It's really important, and I'll come back to this. Need to watch your volumes carefully and reassess the plan constantly. After a while, you can take things a step further and readjust things if they don't go to plan or if you expect them to do something differently. Use a pricing tool to help you stay on strategy and to set up alerts that'll help you manage prices. I'll give you a quick look at Pricescape and how easy it is to set something like this up. So here we are in Pricescape, and I'm using the Shell Chroma as an example for this demonstration. This location, if I click on the location, I can enter the various details and enter my email address for price change notifications. If I go into the Pricescape tab here, this will show me my current prices, my board prices, any preferred prices as a result of the rules that I've set up. And here's all the competitors that I have set up to monitor with live pricing data. So the next most important part, of course, is competitors, and here's the list that I've set up for this site. Really important that you include as many as you think you might want here, because you can select which ones you want to apply for different pricing rules as you go. So there's no harm in adding some extra ones here, and it's as simple as adding a competitor in terms of just entering a search here. You could select one of these sites and add it in, and it will become a competitor. I won't do that now. So the location pricing rules, these are any pricing rules that I've set up to apply to this location. Buy prices, offers, will go into that in the Easy Street demonstration. So back to Pricescape here, what I'll start with is some pricing rules. Now here I've set up for this demonstration two pricing rules for board prices, and there's one offer price there that will go into in the Easy Street demonstration. In terms of the E10 pricing rule, now I'll just go into the edit mode so you see more of the fields here. So this is a pricing rule that will alert me when my price is not equal to the lowest competitors, and I can set this up on obviously any fuel. Here I've got it set on E10. It can be equal to, higher than, or less than, and it can be compared to the lowest, the highest, the average, or the mean. Now there's a couple of other things I can do here which are really helpful. I can set a minimum margin, and I can set a floor price in case you don't want things to get outside certain limits, and I can round up my recommended price to a 0.9, or I can make it a whole cent difference from a board price that comes into play when we're looking at digital offers. So we'll go into that a bit later. Okay, now if we go back to my location and Shell Promo, let's look at location pricing rules, and I've got, here's my E10 equal to lowest competitors, and if I want to edit that, you can see that I have it set up obviously for the Shell Promo site. The pricing rule is the one that we went through before. Now I can compare this to competitors' E10 prices, which is logical, but if I was in a market that didn't have many E10 prices and predominantly unleaded, I could set it to be compared to other ULP prices, potentially with a differential as well. Now here's where I can select the competitors that this particular pricing rule applies to. So obviously you may have different competitors for petrol versus diesel, and here's how that you would use different competitors in the space that you've set up. Here I've set them all up, but you could just select 3 or 4 if they were the most relevant. Okay. Now, let's go back to Pricescape, and this is where you will see the effect of this pricing rule here. Now, of all the competitors, remember we had a pricing rule that said I want to be equal to the lowest in E10. And if we go down here and look at E10, the lowest here is the United DY at 113.5. Now, my current price is 114.9, and the rule that I set is recommending that I be at 113.9. Remember, I selected the round up to 0.9. Now, when something changes or one of these competitor prices changes, I'll get an email alert instantly, and my new recommended price will come through on that email. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. What we might do now is go back to look at the diesel example that I set up, take us into edit mode so we see more of that. And here we have premium diesel set at 2 cents per litre above the lowest. So again, I could select this be compared to other diesel sites or both, and I can then select which sites this would apply for. Okay. So back to Pricescape, and the effect of this price rule is the recommended price at the moment for me is 118.9, which is out of compliance with my current price. So I would have got an email alert to draw my attention to this. As you can see here, there are several prices that the red prices are the ones that are activating that pricing rule. Okay, so let's take a look at the pricing alerts and how they come through. Here's an alert that I got yesterday as one of those competitors changed their prices. And this tells me that my current price is at 119.9 and my preferred price based on the rule I set is at 119.9. So if I wanted to investigate this more, I can simply click on the link and it will take me through to the site. Here we go, Pricescape. And I can review all my competitors' pricing. So you can do this from your mobile device. It works quite well. Also, you can copy and paste this into either an email or a text message to send off to your site staff to enable those price changes. So setting up pricing rules can be as easy as that, and using a tool like Pricescape can be quite quick and very useful in terms of monitoring your pricing and margins. So now you've got a process or a tool in place, you'll need to keep looking for improvements in your margin versus volume balance. This is essentially what optimization is all about. I really hope this has been helpful, and please drop me a line if there's any specific questions or you'd like to get going and take advantage of using Pricescape at no cost during this period, either at info@thepricingproject.com.au or email.jarvie@thepricingproject.com.au. So thanks for tuning in. I really hope this has been helpful, and take care.